So let's start by creating this geometry. Go to the front view. Make sure that your gumball, object snap, and grid snap are on. And I'm going to also have the orthogonal turned on just for now. And create a reference line of 15 millimeter. We're going to delete this one, but just so we will be within the range that we specified before. And go to control point curve and draw something and turn off your orthogonal. Draw something like that. My suggestion is, and then before I do that, like create another curve like this. My suggestion, if you have points, 4 control points for the first curve, it's good to have also 4 control points for the second curve as well, because will create a smoother transition, as you will see later on. You can, of course, control the shape afterward by having your gumball on and the points on. Then you will be able to have to edit the form of your curve. So I'll just edit it slightly and then go to perspective view again. And I'm gonna go to shaded. Select one of your curves and through the green arrow, which is the y-axis, type in -40. This is also to stay within the 40 millimeter range. Then type in TweenCurves. It will ask you to select the start and end curves. I'm selecting them and enter. So let's do that again so you know what we've done. Just type TweenCurves and select the first and end. So what this does is that it created an interpolated curves between the start and end ones. So it would generate a smoother transition. It will also ask you how many segments you want this transition to have. So in my case, I just went with 8. You can type in 10, for example, and it will generate more curves for you. Then press enter and you will have that. So if you want to see the difference of how that is generated, you can, for example, select the start and end and go to surface and loft. As you can see here that it creates this chunky transition where you don't have that smoothness that you might want. So if you delete that and select all of these and go to loft, you can immediately notice, you can tell, well, one of my curves is, I did not, yeah, because I selected also the reference curve, delete that. So select all these and go loft. Okay, and you can immediately notice that the surface is a lot smoother than the one before, but this is not what we're trying to achieve. So I'm just gonna move that away. And let's go back to our curves. Select all of them and go to surface. There is a command called extrude curve straight. And what this does, it extrude the curves perpendicular to or in a normal direction. And it will ask you if you want it to be on both sides or one side. I'm just going to keep it to one side. If you go both sides, it will extrude in both directions at the same time. But I'm just going to have that as no. And I will extrude from the start to the end of each curve. So that's why you need your object snap and end checked in. So you can see now that we have this. Now let's select all these surfaces. And I want to extrude them down, or in this case, it's going to be offset surface. So go to commands, and yeah, fillet surfaces. And there's a command here called offset surface. and it will ask you which direction you want it to be. In my case, it's down, and I want it to be down. And I will go with 2 millimeter distance 2 and enter. So you can see here, this is my new generated surfaces. Let's go to rendered so we can have a better look. And here we go. This is the you can 3D print that, but like this is as expected. This is going to be more than 10 millimeters. So it's going to have a supporting structure inside, in which you will have to remove later on. And let's go to the surface that we had before, and see what we can do with it. Like there's another thing. Go to let's go back to the shaded view. I'm gonna rebuild this and extract the mesh from it, like this example here. So this way you can have these structural element which you can use for your projects. So let's go to this one, and yeah, let's go rebuild. Type in rebuild. It will ask you for how many segments you want to divide this domain. I think I will just keep it to that, to 10 by 10. Okay, and now you have this grid. But like you cannot pick on these curves. So what we're gonna do, you can go to curve, and at the bottom there is an option, curve from objects, and it will tell you to extract wireframe. What this does is that it extracted the curves that have been divided, that are dividing the surface. So I'm gonna turn the surface off, and you have only these curves now. You can select all that and type in pipe. And let's go 0.6, which is even 6 millimeter. And here we go. You see this structure created on.